What's up guys? So I'll go ahead and have all the ingredients in the description box. Thank you to Jody Fannin for requesting the Salisbury steak. It was so delicious. But first things first, gonna go ahead and work on the dinner rolls. So as you can see, I just added some warm water, yeast, a little pinch of sugar to allow the yeast to bloom. Once that bloomed, went ahead and added the remaining ingredients, mixing our flour until we get a nice smooth dough. Once the dough is nice and smooth, not too sticky, not too dry, gonna go ahead and knead the dough with my hands a few times just to make sure it's super smooth. And I'm gonna go ahead and roll it out into a nice dough ball here, adding it to a large bowl, lightly greased. Gonna go ahead and roll our dough in the oil, and then gonna go ahead and seal it with some plastic wrap or a damp towel, allowing the dough to double in size, giving it about an hour to an hour and a half, depending on how warm your environment is. Now just peeling up some russet potatoes, or you can use some Yukon Gold potatoes, whatever you prefer, but just peel those potatoes up. Gonna go ahead and slice them into chunks and then add them to a large pot of water. Bring that large pot of water to a boil and allow those potatoes to cook until they're fully cooked through. Took my potatoes about 20 to 30 minutes to fully cook. So as those were cooking, I went ahead and prepped up some onion here. Gonna go ahead and slice half an onion into thin slices, and then the other half I'm gonna go ahead and grate it. After grating up the other half of the onion here, gonna go ahead and add a large bowl to the countertop, adding half a cup of panko breadcrumbs to the bowl. Also gonna add our grated onion, allow that to sit for a few minutes and soak into our panko breadcrumbs. Then I'm going to go ahead and add 1 pound of beef, a room temperature egg, some Dijon mustard, Worcestershire sauce, bouillon powder, ketchup, some garlic. Gonna go ahead and give that a nice mix. Gonna mix it with my hands till just combined. Once everything is combined, I'm gonna go ahead and form 5 patties into oval shapes here. Did my best to make them as even as possible. So as you can see, just a little oval shape. Once again, I was able to make 5 equal patties here. As you can see, nice and oval shaped. So I'm gonna go ahead and set those aside. Once our potatoes are fully cooked, gonna go ahead and drain those in a colander, add that to a large mixing bowl, add our heavy whipping cream, our butter. We're gonna go ahead and cook up some garlic and then add that to our potatoes, some salt and some pepper. And then those are finished. So I'm gonna go ahead and set those aside. And as you can see, our dough has doubled in size. So I'm gonna go ahead and gently punch down our dough and then add that to the countertop. Gonna go ahead and slice out 2 equal portions, and then gonna go ahead and shape those portions into circle shapes. So gonna go ahead and take those 2 portions and then shape those into circles, and then gonna go ahead and roll those out. So as you can see, just rolling out the dough portions here. Gonna go ahead and roll them super thin until they're about 1/4 inch thick approximately. And I'm also gonna add about 2 tablespoons of room temperature butter on each dough portion, spreading it out until it's nice and even. Okay, after spreading out all the butter on our circles, we're gonna go ahead and slice out 4 equal quarters. Then we're gonna go ahead and slice each quarter into 3 wedges. So pretty much like a pizza, cutting it into pie slices. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and roll up each slice. So I'm starting with the wide side, rolling down. Just repeating the process until all of them are rolled up into these really cute croissant shapes here. Gonna go ahead and prep 2 baking sheets, adding some parchment paper on each. So as you can see, all of the dinner rolls are now prepped into cute croissant shapes here. Gonna go ahead and add about 12 dinner rolls per baking sheet. Going to cover our baking sheets with some plastic wrap and allow those to rise for another hour or so. And then as those are rising, gonna go ahead and cook up our Salisbury steak. So I have a large skillet here, added a drizzle of extra virgin olive oil on a really high heat. Once that oil is nice and hot, gonna go ahead and sear up our patties. We're only gonna cook our patties for a minute on each side, just because we want a nice sear. We will finish cooking our patties in our gravy, but as you can see, just got a nice brown sear on each side of our patties. Once these are done searing for a minute on each side, gonna go ahead and remove it from the skillet, place it on a plate until we finish cooking them in our gravy. Okay, so now for our gravy. If your skillet needs a little bit more oil, you can go ahead and add a little drizzle like I did here. Then once it's nice and hot, gonna go ahead and add our onion. Gonna allow that to cook for a few minutes. I sauteed it for about 3 minutes, and then after 3 minutes, I went ahead and added our washed sliced mushrooms, our garlic, and then I just allowed that to cook on a medium-high heat for about 5 minutes until nice and tender. After 5 minutes, I went ahead and turned the heat down to a medium heat, added 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter, allowed the butter to melt, and then I added our flour, whisking it nicely until everything is combined, allowing it to cook for about a minute or so. After a minute, I'm gonna go ahead and add our beef broth. So I added 2 to 2.5 cups of beef broth. Gonna go ahead and add that gradually while whisking. Once again, just keeping it on a medium-high heat until all of the clumps are smoothened out. Then I'm gonna go ahead and add 1/2 cup of water, 2 teaspoons of Dijon mustard, and then some Worcestershire sauce. I added extra just because I love Worcestershire, and then some salt and some pepper. So yeah, gonna go ahead and whisk that up until everything is nice and smooth. I still have this on a medium heat. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and add our Salisbury steaks back to our skillet here. After I added our steaks back to the skillet, gonna go ahead and grab a ladle. Gonna pour the gravy all over the top of the steaks here. After pouring the gravy all over the top of our steaks, gonna grab our lid, lower our heat down to a simmer, and allow our steaks to simmer for about 5 to 7 minutes until everything is fully cooked through. So after our dinner rolls rose again for about another hour, then I went ahead and preheated the oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit, placed those in the oven, allowed them to cook for 15 minutes, and now as you can see, I'm just brushing some melted butter all over the top and gonna go ahead and plate everything up and enjoy. Okay guys, so here is the Salisbury steak with garlic mashed potatoes, topped it with gravy, mushrooms, super steamy. Here's our beautiful dinner rolls shaped as croissants here, golden and buttery. Go ahead and get myself situated. There we go. And then bring you guys closer. Okay. Go ahead and do a thumbnail really quick. My cup here. Salisbury steak. Super hot. Oops. Messy. Oh man. Wow. I love that flavor of the Dijon mustard. So good. So much flavor. Moist. Break open one of these dinner rolls here. I'm gonna do this one. Break it open with you. Ooh, look at that. It's the inside. Super steamy. I'm gonna dip it in the gravy. Oof, with mashed potatoes. Soft, buttery, crunchy on the bottom. So good. Wow. Dip it in the gravy, potatoes. Oof. Dinner roll. So good. Love that gravy. Mm. Yeah, and that meat is so tender, juicy, and lots of flavor. Wow. And yeah, like I said, I love that hint of Dijon mustard. Dinner roll. Mm-hmm. Mm. To drink, I just have this prebiotic soda. It's a ginger fizz flavor. Ginger fizz poppy prebiotic soda. Yeah, I love the Christmas can. It's a Christmas edition. Cheers. Mm. Yeah, tastes like a ginger ale. Delicious. Mm. Yeah, it's a cute Christmas can. If the North Pole had an official soda, it'd be this crisp, cheerful ginger fizz. With the perfect balance of sweet and spice, it gives a whole new meaning to the word sleigh. That's clever. Cute and delicious. Finish this Salisbury steak. So delicious, wow. Mm. Mm. Dinner roll here. Mm. Mm-hmm. Crispy on the bottom. Mm. Wow. Yeah, I really like this flavor. It's really good. Super strong ginger flavor. Mm. Mm. Last bite. Anyways guys, this was so delicious. Thank you again to username Jody Fannin for this request. Love the Salisbury steak. It's so delicious, flavorful, moist. Thank you for watching. Bye.